सर यार
अभी क्या उनको अलग खड़ा कर रहा है?
हाँ वो अलग नहीं खड़ा होने देती
बाद में उतार देंगे ब्रेक तो इसके ऊपर ही आ रहा है। हाँ इधर
लोग
वो लाइट ऑन करवाते हैं।
वेट में
लाइट ऑन कराइएगा।
आइए सर आइए थैंक यू wait.
Video. And I'm not saying anything.
No.
Anyway, thanks. Welcome.
सर यार
महेंद्र जी कैसे हैं?
थैंक यू
अंजू आ
थैंक यू थैंक यू
काम कर सकते हैं फोटोग्राफी जो अभी स्टेज पे हो जाएगा उसके बाद में फिर मैं इनका बाइक अच्छा बाइक ये ना फोटोग्राफी कर हाँ फोटोग्राफी जितने लोग हैं ना अपने देश में बुला उसको लगने से पहले अपना फोटोग्राफी फोटो थोड़ा संभाल लो
पहले बोलते थे ना रील है कि नहीं भाई
दिखाने नहीं था ब्रो
Can you check the picture?
सर यार सर लो थैंक यू
First of all, I'd like to thank my colleague here, His Excellency Zulfikar Gadali. I have to say this in all honesty, this has actually been led by him. I met him 6 years ago in Mumbai, and I felt that we were on a journey and he was going to help me on this journey. He's very dedicated to myself, and he's dedicated to what we're doing together. For me, addressing poverty, global poverty, is something which is certainly has been tried before and failed. Charity clearly doesn't work. Aid doesn't work. Aid is patronizing. If you give a poor man aid and charity, what you're doing is you're enslaving him. If you give him opportunity, you're empowering him. Now that's the concept of the Blue Sky Village. It's about empowering. Zulfikar touched on many of the things that I would have said, but he got there first, so which shows exactly where his heart is. So I'm very proud of him, extremely proud of him. I'm very dedicated to bringing about his vision. It's not just my vision; it's his vision too.
No, it started by you first, but
well, no, but the point is that
I won't take the credit here. He's the man who started it, and I'm supporting him to take it forward.
Yeah, well, you know,
and you must know today why he's dressed in a normal pant shirt. He could have dressed in a very jazzy suit. But the product that he's wearing is basically the women in Mozambique and Sri Lanka has produced those
yeah,
clothes.
It's the Blue Sky Village shirt.
Yeah.
It's the Blue Sky. You can see the label on it if you look later. I'll show it to you. The point is here is that you need visionaries to work together. There's too much in the world today. Everybody's working against each other. So the greatest victims of that are the poorest people in the world. Let me tell you, although, as Zulfikar said, I look like an Indian, but my heart is in India too. You know, I came here 4 months ago with my daughter, who's the bureau chief for BBC News for South Asia, and we both fell in love with this country straight away. And I love the poorest people in this country because for them, you know, life is a Herculean task. They wake up every morning, they don't know how they're going to feed their kids. What the Blue Sky Village does, it empowers them to take responsibility, but also honours them as human beings. My friend Nelson Mandela, I know it's a name to drop, you know, so if you saw me in the street, you say, "Hi Nick." He's not a friend, but he's very friendly with me. He said his heroes were the poorest people in the world. I believe that there's so much energy amongst the poor of India. If we can harness that energy and redirect it in a different way, those children on the streets could become the next president. For God's sake, we've had somebody that sold tea president, so why can't we get somebody from the street to become president? How great would that be for India? India is the only country I know in the world where you can get somebody who sells on the street tea can become president. There's no other country in the world, so that's something that we should be proud of. Now the reason I'm here is because Zulfikar and I talked about launching our Blue Sky Village idea here in India, because I believe that India could be an example for the rest of the world how you can make poverty history. That is my mission, is to make poverty history. And this gentleman here is going to help me do that. Now, I was told by a very famous friend of mine many years ago, Anita Roddick, she founded the Body Shop. She coined the phrase, trade not aid. She said to me, "Nick, if you meet somebody pure of heart, stick to them like chewing gum to a blanket." So I'm going to stick to him like chewing gum to a blanket. Absolutely. So these are the things that make people like Zulfikar are the very reason that, you know, these kind of projects can come about. Now let me explain in detail a bit more about the Blue Sky Village and why I came up with that concept. I wanted to find another way of addressing global poverty. Charity clearly has failed. We get more poor people in the world than ever before. So let's find a new solution. Now I'm an entrepreneur, okay? I'm an entrepreneur. I believe that the only way you're going to deliver people out of poverty is through enterprise thinking. It's the only way. There's no other way to do that. So I came up with this concept, trade not aid, which is the Blue Sky Village. Each village will be managed by the villagers. The villagers themselves will be participants in the success of the village. They will be partners in the village. We want private investors to come in, not as a charity, but because they gain something from it as well, as investors. Now, the clever trick here is partnering each village with a community in the West, a wealthy community in the West. So the village has a revenue stream which comes from that community. The shops in that community, as Zulfikar touched on, will sell the products made by each village. So each village has a community to sell the product to. Also, it allows the people who live in the village to build bonds of friendship with the people that they're selling for. So there's a loyalty built in there as well. So we want to replicate these villages all across India. I think this will be a huge opportunity for India to show the world that they pioneered how to get people out of poverty. I genuinely believe that. Just before I end, I just want to tell you a very simple story which was really moving. I was at the Taj Mahal 3 years ago, and you know at the Taj Mahal there's electric vehicles which takes you. There was a number of children there chasing the vehicle, trying to sell me these trinkets. After we saw the Taj Mahal, I came back and said, "Where are they? I might avoid them." I decided not to. So there was one little girl, she kept running and running and running, and she got me. After about half a mile, she got me and moved me to tears. She was trying to sell these little Taj Mahal trinkets. I bought every one of those trinkets from her. She was about 9 years old, and I thought if I could give that child the opportunity that she clearly deserves and the energy that she has and the passion, right, and redirect it in a much more positive way, that girl could become anybody, all right? And that's what the Blue Sky Village is doing, is to take the talented people from the streets of India and make India respect those people. Don't treat them as vermins or nuisances. See them as an asset for India. I believe the poorest are the greatest asset India has. We need to get every Indian out there to recognize that. Thank you very much.
Archna, obviously, important issue they are taking, diabetes, their water crisis, we are facing huge problem all over India. How you see that there's such an important issue Rotri is doing?
I think Rotri is doing a great job, and the best part about them is they're hands-on doing the job. You see a change in every sector that they touch. So I think they're doing a great job in both the water as well as the pediatric heart surgery section that they have. Actually, they are champions of that. Of any project that they take up, their strength is so much, and the way they work is so good that they become champions of that cause. And I'd like to add to something that he just spoke. It's amazing the project that he's come up with. And yes, it's amazing the project that they've come up with, the Blue Sky project. It's amazing, and I'm working on a very similar project with I'm mentoring girls from rural villages in India, and we're teaching them everything from making bags to making trinkets from fabric, and we are helping them become entrepreneurs. So I'm very, very happy to be sitting next to both these gentlemen, and I completely endorse their thoughts.
Can I just add to that? Because the other thing is that one of the things that I thought about was creating a village, a completely new village, giving people a home which is much better than they're used to living in, giving them a fair wage, but also taking consideration of the people around the village, because there might be some resentment, by some others. How come they are in the village and we're not? So, how we solve that problem is in each village there'll be a marketplace. So those people will be invited to come and sell their goods, and in the village as well there'll be a cinema and a theatre. Because why shouldn't hard-working people enjoy those fruits that we better off take for granted? Let's give them some enjoyment. Let the children be children. Let the children be learners, not earners. That's my slogan. Learners, not earners. And the farmers around the village will be supplying the produce to the village, which we then turn into pickles, sauces, food products, which will be branded under the Blue Sky Village name and sold in the supermarkets in the districts that each village is twinned with. So, it is a very practical business solution to ending poverty rather than a charity. Everybody benefits in the region.
Good evening. My name is Chetan Ranglani. मैं एक प्रोजेक्ट करने जा रहा हूँ हेल्प फीमेल एसिड विक्टिम्स. हमारा प्रोजेक्ट 5 लाख रुपए का है. 1 लाख मेरी बेटी दे रही है, 2 लाख मैं कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा हूँ, 2 लाख मेरा क्लब कर रहा है, और हम 50 विक्टिम्स को हेल्प करना चाहते हैं टू द ट्यून ऑफ 11,000. हमें विक्टिम्स नहीं मिल रहे हैं. एक NGO है साहस फाउंडेशन, उसके अंडर में 20 विक्टिम्स हैं, पर वो लेडी हमें अपने विक्टिम्स नहीं दे रही हैं कि हम उनको 11,000 रुपये का चेक दे सकें. आई कैन गो अप टू 6 लाख, आई कैन गो अप टू 7 लाख, आई कैन गो अप टू 8 लाख 7, पर हमें विक्टिम्स चाहिए. कोई भी हमें लाके देगा, हम उनको फैसिलिटेट करेंगे. 4 सितंबर 2019 को खार जिमखाना में. आप लोग प्रेस से हैं, यदि आप मुझे विक्टिम लाके देंगे, जेन्युइन विक्टिम, हम उनके नाम का चेक देंगे, किसी NGO को चेक नहीं देंगे, क्योंकि NGO 50% रख देता है, 50% सिर्फ अपने विक्टिम्स को देता है. यदि हमें मिलेगा तो मुझे खुशी होगी कि मैं 8 लाख रुपए तक ये प्रोजेक्ट कर सकूं. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Club Khar. Friends at Rotri Club, we provide many projects which touch the life of people, like midday meal, providing medical facilities, or blood donation camp. However, we thought we must take up long enduring project which provide continuous benefit to people at large. At that concept came what project? Then we had decided to give ambulance. Then why question came, why ambulance started? We had a saying going on in the city that here pizzas reach in less than 30 minutes, but the ambulance take long time to reach. And it sometimes, friend, it could be very fatal. So with that concept, we provided fully equipped cardiac ambulance to Guru Nanak Hospital at Bandra East, and they are running it very well. Do not charge single penny to the needy people and charge only 1,000 where people could afford. So this is the concept, and we are fortunately we belong to a club wherein district which are having more than 104 clubs. If 30% or 40% of the club take up this project, I'm sure it could bring a great relief to citizen of Mumbai. Thank you, friend.
Okay. Can I just add to what this gentleman said about the clinic, about the ambulances? I forgot to mention, in each village there's a clinic. We are going to pay the doctors, but they'll be paid the same rate as the doctor here, not the doctor in the UK. We've already got a volunteer force of doctors that will provide that. But we want, let me just quickly tell you, when I was in Mozambique, where we're doing the village in Mozambique, to the nearest doctor is about 500 miles away. That is a moral outrage that a poor person can't seek medical help, as you said. So, because we've got the clinic on their doorstep, it means that, any medical situation can be attended to almost immediately.
I would add up one more thing. The next concept which we are having now is to provide the dialysis services. We are opening few centers wherein we will have 5 to 10 machines which will continue to provide dialysis without charging any single rupee, and that too at remote places. So these are going to be a real helpful to people. That's how we want to touch the life of people, how they can be more helpful to people.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
My name is Raghavan. I am the secretary of this club and a past president also. I would like to tell you one of the two projects which we will be doing, which has been one of the thrust areas of the district and very nearer to you. We are giving prostrate to amputee children, calipers to polio-affected children, and crutches to handicapped children. This is one of our major projects. After 10 years we have been doing. We did with Global Grant, and we have served about 1,200 children all over the municipal areas. We have been talking about the downtrodden people and the municipal children. They have nothing to go about. We are helping them, especially crutches. They grow old, it has to be replenished. So we continue to do this job, and this year also we will be doing. Chetan Ranglanaji also will be helping us. The second major project which we are doing is check dams. Because water is that, like you say, world war is going to happen for the water. We will be making 6 check dams in Thane district, Vikramad area, and we will be taking the global grant of the Rotri. See, global grant of the Rotri is, we are giving a lot of money to the Rotri, it all comes back to us. So they give us grant, and that project outlay is about 50 lakhs, and it will be benefiting more than 10,000 farmers. 10,000 farmers, a lot of farmers, suicide and all are in that area. Not only drinking water, irrigation also will be doing. So this is our 2 areas which our club is going to do. That is what I would like to inform.
Sir, just one question. Are you planning to take a big celebrity to help create more awareness, like for your Rotary Club purpose?
Yeah. See, Amir Khan has been associated with us in a big way. Amir Khan is associated, and then we would like to take, we have enough celebrities, we can, anybody is going to come with us, but what we need is funds, and we need, there is one more RTA Charitable Trust also, with whom also we are going to tie up, because we would like to do it in a big way, which is going to affect a lot of people, not a very few people. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you...
And currently I'm Avenue Chair for Rotary Seva Abhiyan. Rotary Seva Abhiyan is one of the Rotary's avenue where we do 5 to 6 big projects throughout the district. We have planned this year blood donation camp not only once but 3 times in a year. We already completed one big blood donation where we collected more than 1,500 bottles of blood and few of the pledges for organ donation, where more than 100 clubs took part. Our second project which is coming up is a Rojgar Mela, which will happen throughout the Bombay, throughout our district. And we are even opening first time in our district is a permanent placement cell. Third project what we are going to do is a women's safety. We want to teach ladies and women how to protect themselves, and that also we are going to do it in a big way. Fourth project, what we will be doing is for youth basically. It's a competition of all the youth. It will be for 2 days, 14th and 15th of December. Then we are going to recognize certain vocational who are touching our day-to-day life. Like maybe auto rickshaw guy, maybe conductor, maybe ward boy or someone like that. That will happen in the month of January, and we have given theme as a Mumbai Meri Jaan. So whoever is making a little difference to our city, we are going to recognize those people. More than 35 to 40 people will be recognizing. And last one, under Rotary Seva Abhiyan, what we will be doing is a Parivar Mela, which will be a complete Rotary, road track, inner wheel and interact. Everyone will come together, and that is where we have given theme as internationality. We will be having a theme on different countries. We will be calling in Consulate General of all the countries, and that is how we want to spread and give benefit to entire community in a much, much bigger way. Thank you.